I appreciate you, man. For real, for real. But today we're here to talk about your platform, man. And, you know, first and foremost, I just want to thank you for even having me on the B&B podcast slash vlog slash radio show. You know, that was a big moment for me, bro. I really, really appreciated that. To be able to come back home and tell my story on your platform was an amazing opportunity. And just looking at how you've moved even since then and even before then, man, you are an asset to the community of Plainfield, to the state of New Jersey as a whole, and even globally, man. Like I see your message as being so important, because to have a platform with multiple brothers, right? And the fact that y'all all come together, y'all all have something individual to contribute. And it's not about downing other people. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing the whole Kwame Brown situation and how a lot of our Black platforms are set up to promote salacious gossip and just negativity. You know, I have to tip my hat to you, man, because it's four of y'all, man. And it's like, y'all could be doing a whole lot of other stuff, but it's very enlightening to see a platform of brothers that are not there to stroke their own egos, but to also uplift the talents and the entrepreneurship and the businesses of others, man. So I wanted to publicly salute you, man. And I wanted to have you on my platform just to give your platform just a little bit more light, if I could, because
I appreciate it.
Like
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it so much coming from you. And we're gonna bring it back to when I had you on.
Yeah.
That day meant so much. One, to be able to give you the honor that I felt that you earned. And I felt so grateful you giving me that opportunity. And you made me step my game up so much because I wanted to give you the best interview in your life. So I had to do the homework, because I'm like, man, do y'all really know how humble this man is, how hard he works, how he's on his craft for years? And you made me step my game up. You made me step it up, because I'm like, nah, he knows. You got some people, they just get excited to be on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, he knows. He knows what whack is. He knows if somebody cares. And I just wanted to show you how much I do care, how much I wanted to salute you. And it was one of the hardest days prior to coming in. It was a family situation. It was one of the worst. That preparation I did for that long, everything was blocked out.
Wow.
Everything was blocked out when you and your wife came through. We had a great time.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely.
We had a great time. This day after the birthday. And when it comes like to the fellas on the show, man, we have so much love and respect for each other outside of the show.
Yeah.
So
that's evident too. That's definitely evident, man. I peeped that. Like, I was like, wow, this is a family situation here.
It's really a family type situation. You know what I'm saying? I got my cousin Brian and my cousin Dion, Barry and TJ, their family. Right. I've been knowing them for so many years with everybody, and this is how we talk. We don't cut each other off. We want to hear what the next person says, even if we don't agree. And we just have fun. We have fun, and purposely, you know, you have people say, well, when you do a show, you need to do it like Breakfast Club. You got to have a girl right here. And I'm like, nah, man, it's power in unity with brothers.
Right. Facts.
We don't see enough of this. So, and it's fun. It's fun, but I know our purpose. Absolutely. I know our purpose. And we fall in line and have fun.
Now, the name, the Beards and Baldheads Show, I mean, speak about, you know, some of the origins of why you started this platform, because just looking at the YouTube page and just looking at the Facebook page, it seems like it was initially started to kind of give a spotlight to stylists and barbers generally in the area, but you've expanded way beyond that. But, you know, tell our audience a little bit about the initial reasonings behind starting a platform such as Beards and Baldheads.
I want to give, you know, props to the stylists and the barbers out there, because, like, you know, I was running a little late trying to get this camera right because I had to get a shape up to be on here.
Appreciate it.
I was looking scruffy. You can't do anything in life and your hair's not right. You're not going to feel as good. So I know how important the barber is. and the stylist is. Right. And I wanted to do God's work and praise them, the ones that don't get the credit like that. But they're so important. They're so important in so many different facets in our life. So that was the initial mission for that. Of course, it expanded because in the barbershop, in the salons, we talk about everything.
It's conversation.
There's conversation. So that's when people, let their hair down or no hair down and just break bread. So when in the barbershop, you're gonna have the mayor there. You're gonna have the person selling this, the one who has this new business, the one who works for AT&T, the tech guy for this. You have everybody all inside those salons. So I'm like, man, if this is the type of platform, we're gonna celebrate not any and everybody, but celebrate the people that deserve it. And this is that type of platform. So it started. I don't know if they should get that story. What got me motivated? People was fronting on me like I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about how some of your media origins prior to you starting this platform kind of fed into you creating this. Did that have a lot to do with it? Your media background?
Yeah, okay. It did. I used to rhyme in Brooklyn a lot. Well, rhyme period. I used to rhyme with a band of the Super Larry Brothers.
Okay.
Out of Philly, in Brooklyn, like when I was in school in LIU. And from that, it took me to hosting gigs. I'm hosting on the mic at the 5 Spot from open mics and rap battles. So I was used to doing that. I'm a media arts major. Mm-hmm. So I'm comfortable in front of the camera. And it went from there to having opportunities to be on BET. I was on the Center show, the Center Crew. I did that for about 2 years. Yeah. And that was fun. Did the Chappelle show a few times and had a few little things on TV, nothing major, but I knew I had a gift.
Right.
And I had the experience and I've hosted plenty of things, but I didn't continue at one point. I kind of got frustrated, and I was like, man, I'm cool. And that was probably the worst thing. So when the hunger came back, like, yo, man, I was trying to do this with one crew and trying to do it with other people. Mm-hmm. And I just making excuses for why it didn't happen. Say, well, this one didn't do this one didn't do that. I have to take, accountability for myself. If I want to get it done, I got to get it done. Right. And for a year prior to the show even started, I started writing in my notebook. And just like how we used to write them rhymes, it just started just formatting exactly what I want to do. And just kept working on the names, working on what I wanted to add on to it. Mm-hmm. Every night for about a year. Mm-hmm. And then the show started in December 2017.
So you basically manifested a lot of your ideas initially, like, even if you were jotting it out, putting it on paper, but that manifestation period is very important, I would say.
That's what Mike was telling you.
And me and Mike are walking through the lobby and he's continuously talking to me about the mistakes that he's made, and he's giving me some advice on things that I should be doing at the particular time. And he says, in order for you to be who you want to be, whatever it is that you're here for, whatever it is you're here for in life, not just here at the radio station, but just in general, you have to envision yourself already in those shoes. You have to already imagine yourself in those shoes. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, yo, if you want to be a radio personality, then you should already be doing radio personality stuff. You should already be interviewing whoever you have access to. You should already be keeping your ears to the street with the new artists and new music and all of that. And I'm like, yeah. And it's making sense because it's coming from this man.
One of the things that's so ill about that is, from a boxing perspective, like, he's not a media guy, but he still knew the tools. He's a boxer, but still he understood the idea of putting yourself in a position before you actually get there.
A quick story on that one.
Yes.
I'm such a Mike fan. That's why when I'm watching your story on that one, when he was 14, he was locked up, and Muhammad Ali went to go visit him. And he lost the title at this point. He goes up to Ali and said, I'm going to get the title back from you. I'm going to beat Spinks, and I'm going to beat Larry Holmes. 14. So he saw that 14. So when you're telling me the story and what he said to you, I'm like, yeah, you have to see it. You have to believe like this is going to be you. If you can't see it, you're not going to maintain it. It's not going to last. You can get a lucky break.
Right.
Somebody can give you that, but how long is it going to last? Those who really want it, you're going to get it, and you're going to keep it as long as you can.
And that's something that I didn't even know at the time when I met him, that he even knew anything. Like, so when he said it, because sometimes people say things to you, and you know, you almost wonder, are they like patronizing you? It's like when somebody says, well, you're going to make it, everything going to work out. And sometimes it's like, yeah, all right, man, you just kind of saying that. But I knew that he wasn't. And like I said, for him to be so vulnerable and telling me that, yo, I still be fiending for the coke sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? You looking at me, what you looking up to me for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't nobody to look up to. But that manifestation was so important, man. So you, for a whole year, you were plotting and planning and putting this down into the book. Now, how did you link up with BKS1 Radio? Did you have that in mind before your platform started? Or was your platform going to be starting without BKS1, or was it?
Actually, I hooked up with BKS1 Radio. Shout out to my girl Toya. She on the Owl Show. I've been on her show before a few times, just sitting in. But I knew I needed to be with a network that knew what they were doing. I knew how to host. I know how to produce content and create it and write it down with the ideas, but I don't know how to punch these buttons. I barely know how to get this camera lined up. It's a lot that I didn't know, and I wanted to be around people that did know. Shout out to Norm. Before the show even started, when I would be around him, we would just chop it up on some regular hip hop talk and felt comfortable around him. And this is before I would even thought about the show, like a year or so prior to. So I felt comfortable with that vibe, and I'm like, man, it's right here, great location for all parties involved coming to host. And I'm like, I can learn from them. I need to learn as much as work that I put in whatever. I still need to learn, and I have learned a lot from him and others on the show. I mean, in the network, on the station. So now I purposely wanted to go there.
Yeah, DJ Storm Norm is somebody that has, a plethora of experience, 30 years plus experience in the entertainment industry, and, made sure that he started a platform right in Plainfield, New Jersey for people such as yourself and even me as being a guest of your show to be able to utilize. So that's a wonderful thing. And when I went in there and I saw the setup, I was like, I couldn't believe it, because I'm like, wow, this is right here in the neighborhood, and it's really a setup.
That's the funny part. It's like, because I forgot, like, what's BKS1 stand for? Like, even though it's written right there, like best kept, I'm like, makes sense.
Makes so much sense.
Outside, you can't tell what it is.
Right, it's close by the train station as well, so you can have guests come through.
It's a perfect location.
It's super close, man. Wow. Just going through a couple of questions, man, because you guys have some great guests. You have some amazing topics. How does you and your team, how do you guys develop topics, and how do you choose, what type of guests that you would like to have on the show? Do you allow people to reach out to you, or is it more or less you guys just kind of keep an eye out for different emerging talent that's in the neighborhood, whether it be artists or entrepreneurs, actors, and what have you?
It's usually, as far as the guests concerned, some people reach out, some people are asked. It might be a referral if they're a friend of a friend and we have a mutual connection, and I respect their art for whatever they do. That's how it usually happens. As far as topics, I go through topics throughout the week. Every day I'm finding something that I want to talk about, whether it be a picture. I'm like, let me screenshot this picture, because I might talk about this a month from now, or I might talk about this current. So it could be from current events to something that we're going over. But I create all the topics, and when I present it to the team, and I don't tell them what we're talking about before we get there.
Right.
I rarely do, because I just know I think about everyone's voice when I'm creating the topics as well. So some nights it might just be me and cousin D, or it might be me and Barry, or it might be me and TJ. So I know them so well. I have everyone's voice in my head when I'm creating.
Right.
And I'm like, this will get this one going like this. This one will get this one going like this. And if it feels for good conversation, if I feel that the world needs to hear it, let's go with it.
That's dope, man. That's dope. If everybody listening right now, we have brother Jason, aka Phatlace. He's the host and creator of Beards and Baldheads, which is a platform that is both visual and audio. You can check them out every Monday nights from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Usually you go live on Instagram as well as Facebook, and you guys are on YouTube. What is the preferred module that you want people to check in on? Or what is the model that gives you the most engagement? Because Facebook is lit, man.
Yo, Facebook was. I got too lit on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And they force your hand to get the business, everything going.
Really?
And they switched from my page. They made a whole new page that you have to, them algorithms be real.
Yeah.
They I thought someone hacked my page. So say if I'm getting maybe like thousands or 500 views just for me, for the show.
Right.
They start looking at that and they created a whole new page that I have to make now to put on Facebook to have that type of content on there. If you profit, you got to put your tax ID. So all that stuff is going to, it shocks me. So Facebook is one of the main ones. At first it was the main one that we were using, but and YouTube. So usually Facebook for right now, but yeah, I got to switch that page over. They forced my hand, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I was to say that possibly could tie into some merchandise.
Yes, that will be coming. That will be coming.
The shirts and the hats and all of that good stuff along the way. Definitely, man. I was gonna ask, like, how did first before I even get to your media background, just in school in general, who is the audience of Beards and Baldheads? Like, who should be watching the show? Who do you guys cater to? I know the show has a definite family vibe to it, and it's not to say that the show is not for adults, but who is the audience that you guys would like to cater to?
Everybody. Everybody who's I'm gonna say adults. Let me start with that.
Okay.
It's not a kid's show. It's for adults, and we're speaking what you're thinking.
Okay.
And how you're thinking, but so you're not alone. It's for the guys. It's for the women. We have female guests that come on. We're gonna touch these topics that you might have been thinking about, but you don't have anyone to talk to about it. So we talk about from politics. We talk about sex, relationships, hip hop. We're talking we all types of subjects, and it's for us, the older adults who need that outlet.
Right.
So it's for them.
I believe the last topic you were talking about, the phone situation, and should people have access to their significant other's phones. And what you do is you actually create conversation within my household and other households. Thankfully, wifey's not on phone check. We have that trust and understanding where we don't have to go there, but I'm not dropping anything in terms of suspicious activity where she would want to say, let me go check out the phone. But the fact that you guys are having conversations that lead to bigger conversations within households is also a good thing, because like you said, you're talking about things that people are thinking about. And by having your show on, it makes that conversation a lot more easier, where people might be intimidated to ask certain things, but you guys do it in such a way that's comfortable. And once again, it's a positive platform where I've seen the sisters come on your platform and we're able to have an intelligent debate without it being man versus woman, that whole argument all the time. Like, you had some really good conversations where it's like, we do get along, we can agree to disagree, and it's a beautiful thing to see it, man.
Thank you. Shout out to the real estate divas. We had the DMX show with them, and even the Mommy's Keeping It Cute. And I said the same thing, because I sit back and watch it again and watch it over and take notes. I was like, yo, we really are having on most platforms, it's a yelling conversation.
Absolutely.
This is, well, why y'all do this? And y'all should. And I'm like, yo, it just looks so cool the way we could just talk, hear the person. No one's going up to 10, and just respectfully, have this type of dialogue. So it's been very important, and I'm happy that we're blessed to have those type of conversations in a cool way where no one's really gonna side for this girl for well, she told you, or
right.
side for this guy like you see, because the arguments do happen at home.
Yeah, they definitely
do happen at home. So I understand for the viewers, they might want to just like, man, Jay, come on, tonight you're gonna talk about this. We just went through it. So
yeah, it's gonna be a tough conversation after the show was over. But I tell you what, though, the fact that you have these positive engagements, the listener and the audience could lead with that versus lead with the drama. Because oftentimes, like when the platforms do have important conversations, whether it be on the Breakfast Club or whether it be on the other side on Hot 97, the drama will overtake it. That'll become the soundbite. That's what's going to end up on the Shade Room. So people will miss all the jewels. The jewels will go over your head because you're so focused on, oh, yo, did you see how she disrespected him? Or you see how he checked her? It becomes a whole nother conversation.